fields, father, here's a letter from our Pete, and come to the front door, mother, here's a letter from thy dear son. Lo, 'tis autumn, lo, where trees, deeper green, yellower and redder, cool and sweeten Ohio's villages, with leaves fluttering in the moderate wind, where apples ripe in the orchards hang, and grapes on the trellised vines. Smell you the smell of the grapes on the vines? Smell you the buckwheat, where bees were lately buzzing? Above all, lo, the sky so calm, so transparent after the rain, and with wondrous clouds. Below, too, all calm, all vital and beautiful, and the farm prospers well. Down in the fields all prospers well, but now, from the fields, come, father, come at thy daughter's call. And come to the entry, mother, to the front door, come right away. Fast as she can, she hurries, something ominous, her steps trembling. She does not tarry to smooth her hair nor adjust her cap. Open the envelope quickly. Oh, this is not our son's writing, yet his name is signed. Oh, a strange hand writes for our dear son. Oh, stricken mother's soul. All swims before her eyes, flashes with black. She catches the main words only. Sentence is broken, gunshot wound to the breast, cavalry skirmish, taken to the hospital. At present low, but will soon be better. Ah, now, the single figure to me, amid all teeming and wealthy Ohio, with all its cities and farms. Sickly white in the face, and dull in the head, very faint, by the jamb of a door leans. Grieve not so, dear mother, the just-grown daughter speaks through her sobs. The little sisters huddle round the speechless and dismayed. See, dearest mother, the letter says Pete will soon be better. Alas, poor boy, he will never be better, or maybe needs to be better, that brave and simple soul. While they stand at home, at the door, he is dead already, the only son is dead. But the mother needs to be better, she with thin form, presently dressed in black. By day her meals untouched, then at night fitfully sleeping, often waking. In the midnight, waking, weeping, longing with one deep longing. Oh, that she might withdraw unnoticed, silent from life, escape and withdraw, to follow, to seek, to be with her dead son.
Jerome Loving, it's good to see you, my eccentric friend.
Great to see you too. It's a pleasure. G. Wilson Allen, nice to meet you.
David Reynolds, nice to see you too.
All right, let's get started. This is really exciting for me. I'm really pleased to be here analyzing this poem with you fellows.
As am I. In this poem, I love the characters. There's the father, the mother, the daughter, and the son. It was really nice to have other characters in the poem besides Whitman. I found it very refreshing. And it's another one of his Civil War poems, so it was very powerful and moving for me.
And yes, I think that Whitman's role in this poem, I think he's the person that writes the letter for the dead soldiers.
Yeah, because he worked in the hospitals during the Civil War, so he must have viewed many soldiers who died.
He would have seen this situation played out over and over and over again throughout the war.
Yes. In the poem, I thought it was pretty cool that he used the mother and the father pretty inclusively, and he was one of the first poets to include both genders. He starts off by talking how the daughter calling to the father saying that there's a letter from our Pete, while she says to the mother, there's a letter from thy dear son, which somewhat shows how the mother has a stronger connection to the son than the father.
I think this poem is very clearly a metaphor for the planet Jupiter, and the mother is Jupiter, and her children are the moons orbiting Jupiter. And I think that Pete really just represents one of those moons who has gone out of orbit and passed away.
Okay. I feel like the second sentence is talking about the beauty of nature, and he uses a lot of colors low where the trees, deeper green, yellower and redder. And in the second sentence says he romanticized the nature. It says where apples ripe in the orchard and grapes on the trellised vines. And the second to last sentence, above all below, the sky so calm, so transparent after the rain, and with the wondrous clouds. And then the tone was very positive in the second stanzas, and it talks about how like it was beautiful and like good and welcoming. But then transition into like the third stanzas, it says like down in the fields all prosper well, but now from the fields come father, come at the daughter's call. The but is kind of like a foreshadowing like something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's changing from the fall to the winter,
Yeah.
from good to death, and he uses the words vital and beautiful and prosperous in the beginning, and then shifts to ominous and trembling.
And as some have argued, this poem may be using autumn to represent a time of change and of decay and death as transition to winter. But I really believe that autumn here is really women celebrating the ancient European tradition of Hallows Eve on the eve of All Saints' Day, and really just celebrating autumn in its role in that holiday.
It's interesting. He moves on to talk about after the mother opens the letter, she receives the news of her son being injured, but she takes it much more seriously, and he uses the repetition of the word "oh," which somewhat represents sadness, and then he goes on to say flashes with black as she reads the letter, and black to us, to many people, represents death, and so she can see death as she's reading the letter.
And on the sixth stanzas, it's kind of like goes from like a small detail into the big detail. That's kind of saying that this is not just happening to one family during the Civil War, it's happening to like every family.
Yeah, very true. And when they're reading the letter, he talks about how they're reading it at the doorway, which is somewhat of a symbol as inside. It's the portal from the inside, which is the security, to the outside, which is danger and evil.
It may also be a time portal, literally a door into the future.
Or a door into anything in your point of view. Wait. But he moves on to talk about how the son is dead, but not that he is dead, that he is better, and how death not necessarily is a bad thing, and he uses the word better a lot, and here he uses the word better to say death is a good thing. But he moves on in the last paragraph how the mother, she needs to get better, and how she can't die. She needs, because her family needs her.
Yeah, and the blacks kind of symbolize like she's wearing a black color, like it's a color of mourning. Like it talks about how, and this one talks about how she's like not touching her meal and like not sleeping and waking. It kind of saying that she's still alive, but like she kind of like wants to like withdraw unnoticed and silent from the life escape and withdraw.
Yeah.
And then Whitman kind of say that she's like alive and not dead yet.
Yeah, he uses the participles waking, weeping, longing, how she's very close to just giving up on life, but she's still alive.
Yeah.
She's still there.
And yet, this poem may actually be a commentary on the possibility of time travel, and maybe even coming back from the dead for the mother in Whitman's perspective. I think that's pretty much a given in this poem, that's a major part of what he was trying to convey.
Yeah. But also another main theme is that he wraps it up by saying that death is easy, while life can be a struggle and full of hardship.
I agree.
Yes, I would very much agree.
It was nice meeting with you guys and discussing this.
Yes, it's
very
been
touching
lovely.
poem.